Do you sort of quickly, after something like Tuesday where you're frustrated and not happy with what you've seen, do you get that out of your system pretty quickly?
Yes, you have to. I think you have to. You have to get it out of your system, and you move on. The good thing is you got another chance, and that comes quick and fast. So to dwell on it and to keep bringing it up would be negative. So yeah, I have to accept we were beat by a better team, and I have to move on.
So to take it forward, what do you need to do better to make sure you give Luton a game this weekend?
Well, unfortunately, I won't be the one on the pitch. I need myself. I need to get them right frame of mind, tactics right, team selection right. I need a freshness about them. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the players, like I was loath to make any changes the other night because they were the ones that got us into that situation, and I wanted to give them an opportunity to get them out of the situation. But at the end of the day, look, when you come back off a defeat, you're well within your rights to make 11 changes. You're well within your rights to discard and to push to one side. But that's not that's not the case with this group. This group are a good group. They're an honest group, and that's 1 to 18, 1 to 20. And they've been different class for the last 3 months. And as I said the other night, one night in Doncaster is not going to define or tear up or break this group. We've come a long way. We didn't have any parties, and we weren't jumping for joy when we beat Blackpool 4-0, aggregate 7-0 over the 2 games when we came in the next day. Nor did we have a wake after the Doncaster defeat. You take the highs, you take the lows, and you try and keep it on an even keel.
You mentioned sort of selection there. Has it given you a harder time this week in terms of, do I make this change? Do I look at that person?
Well, team selection is never easy, to be honest, and that's the one side of that's probably the one side of the job that is difficult, because you've got a great bunch of lads. Not only team selection, but you've got to select a bench as well. And I like to balance out a bench. So yeah, the selection process is very difficult. It's tough and it's not easy, but you go with what you see. You go with what you're feeling, what you gut. And to a degree you have to go with taking the opposition into consideration. But one thing I know about this group, and I say it and I'll mention it to them again, they do react and they do bounce back.
So Luton this weekend, obviously top of the table, they look like they're going to cruise to the Championship. What kind of threats do they pose you?
Champions elect. You don't become a champion, you don't become a winner if you haven't got guts, if you haven't got character, if you haven't got spirit. Organisation. They're a self-run changing room, which I love. They've got some men in there, and they've got lots and lots of talent. They've got pace, and that's why they are where they are. But at the end of the day, it's an opportunity, it's a chance, and it's a challenge. And as you know, you'll know by me the character I am, and you'll know by this group of players. We love a challenge. I will say we don't do things easy at this football club. We do things the hard way, but it's a great challenge, individually and collectively, and it'd be a great eye opener to have a look at the champions elect tomorrow and see why, where, how they're in the position. They've been on what we say 3-year training regime. Would you say to get to this point? That's been a process that they put in over the last 2 to 3 years. So I think a lot of other football clubs, not only ourselves, will be looking at them and asking why and trying to follow, study and learn as to how they've got themselves to into that position. They've got a top manager who's a really, really genuine, good bloke in Mick Harford. I have a lot of time for Mick, and they've got a lot of good players.
And when you talk about the sort of the dressing room policing itself and setting its own standards, is that something you'd like to develop a little bit more at Rovers?
Yeah, for sure. Because I've been any dressing room I've been in, we've always done it ourselves. I've got some great characters here. I've got some good lads, good players. So they do it in any way. In fairness to them, they never cause me a day of bother. They run the changing room themselves, but I'd like them to be harder on each other. I'd like them to set higher standards. I'd like them to go and challenge themselves and set targets a little bit more and really nail down one or two things, and they do that in fairness. But I like more, keep improving, keep pushing on, keep moving on, keep raising the bar. And we've done that. We've done that considerably over the last 3 months. But I want to keep doing that. Now, as I say, Doncaster Luton is not going to define our season. Our season will be defined over the next 5-6 games. But this is a great opportunity, a great challenge, and a great chance to react and bounce back.